Everyone in The Bear seems to hate Sugar's husband Pete, except for Sugar herself, of course, but the series is subtle in exploring the reasons why all the other characters are so mean to Pete. The series follows the eclectic staff of a Chicago sandwich shop named The Beef, later retooled as a fancy eatery called The Bear, and the deep dysfunction of the Berzato family. Pete is an outsider to both. He doesn't work at the restaurant and he married into the family. Every TV comedy seems to have a resident punching bag to be the target of the cast's insults. The Office has Toby, Parks and Recreation has Jerry, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has Sweet Dee. But the Bear cast's mistreatment goes far beyond mere bullying. He wasn't selected as the butt of everyone's jokes at random, like Dee or Jerry. There's a very specific reason why Pete doesn't have the respect of Carmy, Donna, and all his other in-laws. Pete represents Sugar's rejection of her family. Pete's positivity and supportiveness are a refreshing change from the signature Berzato toxicity. It's not necessarily Pete personally that the other characters hate, although they certainly find him a bit annoying. His incessant niceness can be grating, especially to self-destructive people who aren't used to such positivity. But more so than that, everyone hates Pete because he's the polar opposite of their family, and they know that Sugar deliberately chose him because of that. Pete's positivity and supportiveness offer Sugar a refreshing change from her family's usual toxicity. Unlike the Berzatos, Pete is polite, calm, and kind, and he's generally decent to people. He's very forgiving of the Bear characters like Carmy and Donna after seemingly unforgivable indiscretions. Plus, Pete came from a middle-class background, which Carmy and company resent him for. This is reflected in how much the other characters mock Pete for being a Cubs fan. Of course you're a Cubs fan. Typically, Cubs fans are more middle to upper class white-collar folks, while White Sox fans would be working-class, blue-collar folks like Carmy and Richie. Pete is an important part of The Bear. Pete offers an outsider's perspective. Natalie's husband Pete having lunch with the crew in The Bear. Pete is an important part of The Bear's dynamic, because he offers an outsider's perspective. Every TV show needs that outside contrast, like Penny, the only non-nerd in The Big Bang Theory, or Fry, the only character that shares the audience's 21st century frame of reference in Futurama. There's a bit of that contrast in the restaurant, with Sid and Marcus' chillness juxtaposed against Carmy and Rich's intense bitterness, but when the family is all together, Pete is the presence who highlights what their behavior is really like and makes it look more stark in comparison.